What's going on, data devotees? It's Jameson here. This video is a very brief introduction to GitHub. Now, we're not going to talk about all the ins and outs of GitHub. It's a huge platform with a ton of features and a wonderful functionality when it comes to collaborative coding and large projects that involve a ton of people and a ton of code. But of course, we're only going to focus in this particular video on how you can use GitHub when it comes to submitting some issues that you're having when it comes to, say, assignments or some particular concept that you've come across in the reading and you need some help or clarification on, and how to communicate those issues that you're experiencing not only with your peers in the course, but directly to the instructors as well. And it's an extremely useful tool for that, especially when you're learning a new language. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Now, I'm on the home page for Foundations of Data Science Part 1, and the quickest way to be able to get to the GitHub Issues page for this course is simply to go in the upper right corner and click on what looks like a cartoon cat silhouette, and this is the official GitHub symbol. And this not only takes you to GitHub, it takes you to the entire course repository in which we store all of the code that compiles ultimately into the website that you're using for this course. And so not only can you take a look at all that code, it is open source, you can see everything that we use, everything that we type, but what's more, and probably the most important thing, is this section right here, what's called Issues. If you click on that, you may very well want to bookmark this particular URL as well in whatever browser you're using, because hopefully you're going to be visiting it. Well, not hopefully, but hopefully if you do have issues, you're able to immediately jump to the GitHub Issues page and be able to submit your problem or see if somebody else has already submitted it and if you can get some questions answered very quickly. So let's take a look at this. Well, we've got a series of different issues that are already posted, and as you can see, the posters, we have the name of them, we have a number for which acts as a unique identifier for each issue. And we have a descriptive title as well as a tag. So Lab 4, line only appearing for one team. Now that is a lab assignment about data visualization. And so that's a descriptive enough title, if you will. And we also have that tag, again, that tells us that it's Lab 4. So if we were to click on this, we can see, okay, so an image has been provided for what the learner is experiencing. We even have a tag as well. And in the body text, we have sort of an explanation about what the learner is experiencing and their expectations. And we have multiple comments on this that help explain how to be able to overcome this issue and resolve it. So we ultimately resolved it, and we've got some fire emojis because it's straight fi, as we say in the dirty South. And yeah, so that's an example of what a GitHub issue looks like. So you can create your own issues, but I recommend first to look that you look through all of the posted issues and find out if someone else has already asked the same question that you've asked, because a lot of times that's the case. And a lot of times when you're experiencing trouble, you are not alone. You'll find that to be true throughout your entire data analytic career. So that's not a problem. So if you want to start a new issue, click on the New Issue button in the upper right, and this allows you to first give your issue a title. I recommend naming the specific lab that you're on, and then something that describes your problem in a little bit more detail. Function sum, not working with missing values. So you'll want to, again, tell us where you're experiencing the issue, and then something that's relatively descriptive. I would recommend using the labels to tag this. Now I said it was Lab 3. I'm going to go ahead and click Lab 3. You can add multiple labels as well. And what's more, if you want to really make sure that your issue gets immediate attention, you can tag your instructor. So in this case, I'll just tag myself. In essence, I have assigned myself, or you can assign others to a particular problem. Then you have your body text. This allows you to be able to explain your issue in more detail. Try to explain what your expectations were. try and give a small reproducible example of your code. And essentially you want to provide within reason as much detail as possible for your instructor or other peers to be able to understand and reproduce the conditions which caused your error or which caused whatever challenge you're facing, and not only your expectation, but the ultimate result that you want to get. This includes any errors that you encounter along the way or any error messages and different things like that. All of that information is extraordinarily helpful when it comes to leaving a good comment. And in fact, there is a guide for asking questions. Typically, wonder where it went. Good first issue. Okay, so Dr. Lisi already set this up, and so essentially there are some great examples here of how you can be able to post a good first issue, or if you're posting for your first time, it's got some guidelines there. So I do recommend you check it out. I'll be sure that when we open up a new repository, we'll have an example issue there that should be able to help guide you. Now, when it comes to actually getting all of the, here we have a multi-line code chunk, we've got headers, so we've got a lot of different formatting happening here, and that's done in a language called Markdown. You'll learn more about Markdown throughout the rest of this course, but it's important right now for me to just explain in this video how you can post your issues, and eventually you'll be able to format them in more and more useful ways that allow for kind of a cleaner appearance and really rapid decoding when it comes to your collaborators, for them to be able to identify your expectation, what happened, error messages, reproducible code or examples, or anything like that, and any other details you want to include. So again, that's in Markdown. We'll probably have a separate video on that, but you will use Markdown hopefully increasingly and better when it comes to posting your issues in an effective and clean way. So that's GitHub Issues in a nutshell. Again, you can get to this simply by going on the course homepage, and you can click in the upper right, there's that cat icon, and then you simply click on Issues. Add a new issue or anything like that. You will find that this is extraordinarily helpful, and this is probably the quickest way, since this is tied to my personal email and that of other instructors. This is probably one of the quickest ways that you can get a problem troubleshot, and you can get over a rut that you're stuck in when it comes to assignments, when it comes to projects, or just, again, anything that you're learning in the readings. So that's GitHub Issues in a nutshell. I hope you found this helpful, and have fun exploring the website, making your accounts, and posting your first issues. Thanks.